Good afternoon and welcome to our judges. We are honoured to have Yang Amat Mulia, Tunku Dara Tunku, Tan Shri Naquiah, Binti Tuanku Ja'afar presiding as head judge over our competition for the 4th year. As a founding trustee of College Tuanku Ja'afar, chair of the Finance and Planning Committee, chair of External Relations Committee and member of the Board of Trustees and Governors, it is always such an immense pleasure to have you with us today. Tunku Dara is president of the KL Speakers Club and also chairs the English Speaking Union of Malaysia. We are privileged to have you come and share your wealth of knowledge and experience with our young students today. Hamish Farquharson is one of our assistant heads of secondary. Mr. Farquharson has been teaching history for 18 years. He was the secretary of the Senior Debating Society at Ampleworth College and an active member of the Durham Union Society. He has been judging the primary prose reading contest for 3 years now, and it is always a highlight of his year. Nadia Mohammed Nasir is one of our lower 6 students with a remarkable debating record, reaching the grand finals of the Oxford ABC and World Schools Debate Academy in Slovenia. She is a champion at the World Junior Debate Championship and has excelled nationally at multiple Malaysia National School Championships. Nadia has also coached young speakers at Asia Youth Speakers. May I invite our first reader from Lower Key Stage 2, Mina.
I'm reading the book from Rainy Day Stories. Poor Scissors! No sooner did he miss his green umbrella than it began to rain. Plop! A drop fell on his head and sent him on his nose. Plop! One went on his back and took away all his breath. Plop! A third drop made him so wet that he looked as if swimming for weeks. Help! Help! Let me an umbrella, please! Yelled Scissors. But nobody was near, except the elf whose dress he had been making. She was a scatterbrained little creature and didn't know what to do. But nearby was a strong nasturtium plant and a flower called a scissor. Pick one of her flat leaves. They will shelter you well. They're just like flat umbrellas. So Scissor gratefully picked the leaves, held it by a stalk, and stood out there while the rain poured down. It made a wonderful umbrella, and Scissor was pleased. I'd like to do something for a nasturtium, he said when the rainstorm was over. What can I do? Do you own any dresses, coats, or headcloth to wear? Oh, of course not, laughed the nasturtium. We already have orange and yellow dresses to wear. But you might cut us a pretty little fringe in the center, Scissors. A nice whiskery one. So the gnome took his scissor, cut a fine fringe in the middle of flowers. And if you don't believe me, go look. As for his umbrella, Scissor never found it, but he always keep a stock of nasturtium umbrella in water, ready for him to top. Isn't he funny and wise too?
Thank you, Mina. Our second reader from Lower Key Stage 2, Frank.
I'm reading an extract from the book Treehouse Tales. I grabbed a bucket of fish and hid it in the tank. When I got there, the first thing I saw was a big sign that said, "Be careful when you're feeding the sharks, because their teeth are sharp enough to bite your head off." "I'll be the judge of that," I said. "I'm a much better judge of shark tooth sharpness than whoever wrote that sign, and I really don't think the shark's teeth are sharp enough to bite anybody's head off." I stood close to the edge of the water, and the sharks rushed towards me. Edward was right. They were hungry. They were leaping out of the water, biting the fish right out of my hands. And then, in the frenzy, one jumped up extra high and bit my head off. Ah! I screamed. Or rather, my head screamed. A shark bit my head off! But nobody heard me. Fortunately, the sharks were full of fish by this time and seemed more interested in using my head as a volleyball than eating it. They were merrily snap-butting my head from one to the other until one of them butted my head a little too hard and it went flying out the shark tank and fell down, down, down. It fell until it hit the trampoline and then it bounced up, up, up. Catch me!
Thank you, Frank. Our third reader from Lower Key Stage 2, Yunjae.
I'm reading from the Diary of a Killer Cat. Okay. So hungry. I killed the bird for pity's sake. I'm a cat. It's practically my job to go creeping around the garden after sweet little incy-wincy birdie pies that can hardly fly from one hedge to another. So what am I supposed to do when one of the poor feathery little butterflies just throws itself into my mouth? I knew it practically landed on my paws. It could have hurt me. Okay. So I bit it. Is there any reason for Ellie to cry in my fur so hard I almost drown? And squeeze me so hard I almost choke? Oh, Tuffy, she says, all sniffles and red eyes and pouts of wet tissue. Oh, Tuffy, how could you do that? How could I do that? I'm a cat. How did I know there was going to be such a giant great fuss with Ellie's mother rushing off to fetch sheets of old newspaper and Ellie's father filling a bucket of soapy water? Okay. So maybe I shouldn't have dragged it in and left it on the cup. Maybe this thing won't come out ever. So hungry.
Thank you, Yunjae. And our fourth reader for this afternoon from Lower Key Stage 2 is Zaria.
I'm reading Boy by Old Town. When writing about oneself, one must strive to be truthful. Truth is more important than modesty. I must tell you, therefore, that it was I, and I alone, who had the idea for the great and daring mouse plot. We all have our moments of brilliance and glory, and this was mine. Why don't we, I said, slip it into one of Mrs. Pratchett's jars of sweets? Then when she puts her dirty hands in to grab a handful, she'll grab a stinky dead mouse instead. The other four stared at me in wonder. Then, as the sheer genius of the plot began to sink in, they all started grinning. They slapped me on the back, they cheered me and danced around the classroom. We'll do it today, they cried. We'll do it on the way home. You had the idea, they said to me, so you can be the one to put the mouse in the jar. Twits. handed me the mouse. I put it into my trouser pocket. Then the 5 of us left the school, crossed the village green, and headed for the sweet shop. We were tremendously jazzed up. We felt the gang of desperados setting out to rob a train or blow up the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Zaria. Our 5th reader from Lower Key Stage 2, Aqeel.
I'll be reading the book called Wonder. At lunch the next day, Summer asked me what was I going to be for Halloween. Of course, I've been thinking about it since last Halloween, so I knew it right away. Boba Fett! You know you can wear a costume to school on Halloween, right? No way. Really? So long as it's politically correct? What? Like no guns and stuff? Exactly. What about blasters? I think blaster is like a gun, Augie. Aw man, I said, shaking my head. Boba Fett has a blaster. At least we don't have to come like the captain in a book anymore. In the lower school, that's what you had to do. Last year, I was the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. But that's a movie, not a book. Hello, Summer answered. It was a book first. One of my favorite books in the world, actually. My dad used to read it to me every night in the 1st grade. When Summer talks, especially when she's excited about something, I squint like she's looking right at the sun. I hardly ever see Summer during the day, since the only class we have together is English. But ever since that first lunch at school, we sat at the summer table every day. Just the 2 of us.
Thank you, Aqeel. And now for our final reader from Lower Key Stage 2, Zayna.
Horrid Henry. I'll be reading Horrid Henry's Heart by Francesca Simon. Horrid Henry looked out the window. It was a lovely day. The sun was shining, the birds were tweeting, the breeze was blowing, little fluffy clouds floated by in the bright blue sky. Rats. Why couldn't it be raining, or hailing, or sleeting? Any minute, any second it would happen. The words he'd been dreading, the words he gave anything not to hear. The words, Henry, Peter, time to go for a walk, called Mum. Yippee, said perfect Peter. I can wear my new yellow wellies. No, screamed horrid Henry. Go for a walk, go for a walk. Didn't he walk enough already? He walked to school, he walked to the TV, he walked to the sweet jar, and all the way back to the comfy black chair. Horrid Henry walked plenty. The last thing he needed was more walking. More chocolate, yes. More crisps, yes. More walking? No way! Why, oh, why couldn't his parents ever say, Henry, time to play on the computer. Or, Henry, stop doing your homework this minute. Time to turn on the TV. But no. For some reason, his mean, horrible parents thought he spent too much time sitting indoors. They'd been threatening for weeks to make him go on a family walk. Now the dreadful moment had come. His precious weekend was ruined.
Thank you to all of our Lower Key Stage 2 readers. So we will now have a short break whilst the judges deliberate their scores. During this time, we are going to be entertained, as I say, by a video from 1EM and Year 2, as well as some music from Veronica and Cicely. So first of all, I would like to welcome Veronica to the stage. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Veronica and Cicely to the stage, please. Thank you very much to Veronica and Cicely there. So we are now going to continue with the competition and we're going to move on to our upper key stage 2 readers. So can we please start with Molly?
I'm reading an extract from the book Who Let the Gods Out. Where is that snivelling runt of a pathetic excuse for a boy? The office door blasted open with a furious roar, making Call Me Graham scream like a kitten on a ghost train. Elliot was all too familiar with that loathsome voice. Hello, sneered the new arrival. Hello, whimpered Call Me Graham. As you can see, I am just having a little chat with Elliot. Hooper, sneered the new arrival, lurching up behind Elliot's chair and polluting his airspace with weapon-grade body odor. There was only one person who could make Elliot's surname sound like a dirty word. It was Mr. Boyle, head of history, Bricemore's deputy headmaster, and unless there was a school somewhere on the planet who minced his students into sausages, the world's worst teacher. Boyle was a stumpy, picky little man who was the only person Elliot knew with fat eyes. He squashed them behind a pair of thick bottle-lens glasses and glared at his pupils like most people look at used cat litter. It's like as if he had a permanently nasty nose under his nose. In fairness, he did his own.
Thank you, Molly. Now to welcome our next reader from Year 5, Charlie.
I'm reading The Boy Who Flew. I run from the inn. My feet skid on the cobbles, and when I reach our house, I throw myself inside and bolt the door. After pulling down the heavy shutters, I slip down the stairs to the kitchen and lock the yard door. Only then do I run back upstairs with the cider. The room seems fine. It all seems ordinary. Ma and Uncle laugh and drink. BT's gone to bed. Polly's flicking through song sheets. In the room, it's yellow and warm and safe. Taking a stub of candle, I step back onto the landing. The darkness seems darker, the cold colder. After cheering the house, checking the doors and windows once more, I halt in the kitchen, pressing my cheek against the glass. I peer to the dark yard. The snow's falling now, thick and fast. It's settling on a heap of silk.
The makeshift henhouse, the sticks I've collected from the builders' yards. There's no straw-scarred stranger turning to a snowman in our yard. But the feeling that someone's walking down my spine happens again and again until I'm shivering. Is he still in the griffin or waiting for me out there in the darkness, the snow landing on his horrible skin? Back in my room, I sit on my bed and I pull the sphere from under my pillow. By candlelight, little ivory crescent moons shine white. Between them, ebony stars. I slide my fingers over the surfaces of the different woods. There seems to be no way in, no join between top or bottom or side to side. Oh, Mr. Chen, I say, why did you have to make this so difficult?
Thank you, Charlie. And moving on to our final reader from Year 5, I'd like to welcome Sienna to the stage, please.
I will be reading The House at the Edge of the Magic by Amy Sparkles. Nine gasped and jolted backwards on the ladder, nearly falling off. The book toppled from her grasp, and for a split second she looked away from the eye to watch the book fall towards the ground. It landed with a thud that echoed throughout the room. She looked back at the shelf. The eye was gone. Heart still pounding, Nine scrambled down the ladder as fast as she could. She snatched the book from the wooden floor and quickly headed for the exit. Mr. Downs was at his desk, leaning over his book of figures, warrior lines creased all over his usually genial face. I trust you might have found what you were looking for. More than I was looking for, said Nine over her shoulder. She tucked the book into her satchel and walked out into the street. As she weaved her way through the back alleys towards the house, the roads grew narrower, the people fewer. Nine's thoughts turned to the red eye in the library. It had been watching her, definitely watching her. Perhaps a warning. Thief! Bellowed a voice behind her. Nine jumped out of her thoughts, legs twitching, ready to run. She whirled around to see the ruddy-cheeked butcher from the market, speeding towards her, his blood-splattered apron flapping. Does anyone not want to kill me today? She snapped before she turned and ran.
Thank you, Sienna. Okay, our first reader from Year 6, Veronica.
The witch looked at me with evil in her eyes. She lifted her sword. Now we fight to the death, she screeched. I blinked. To the death, I stammered. Can we propose? And friends? Keiko ignored me. 1 and 2 and before she hit 3, she attacked. Hey, that's not fair, I protested. You didn't say 3. But the witch just giggled wickedly and attacked me again. The 2 swords of light from our strings crossed, creating a rainfall of blue and white sparks. I felt dazed and tired. At the moment, Keiko swished by, just inches from my whiskers. Holy cheese! I snapped her attention. How could I let my friends down? With my last bit of strength, I hit Keiko with my sword of light. At last, the queen of the witches was defeated. The bats carried Keiko away, and even though I heard her muttering as she left, I knew the witch was done fighting for now. I was so proud of myself. I did a little dance. Then I shouted, I, Geronimo Stilton, defeated the queen of the witches.
Thank you, Veronica. And now let's welcome Aegis.
Long ago, on the wild and windy Isle of Berg, a smallish Viking with a longish name stood up to his ankle in snow. Hiccup, horrendous, Harald III, the hope and heir to the tribe of the hairy hooligans, had been feeling slightly sick ever since he woke up that morning. 10 boys, including Hiccup, were hoping to become full members of the tribe by passing the Dragon Initiation Program. They were standing on a bleak little beach, at the bleakest spot on the whole bleak island. A heavy snow was falling. "Pay attention," screamed Gobble the Belch, the soldier in charge of teaching initiation. "This will be your first military operation, and Hiccup will be commanding the team." "Aw, not Hiccup," groaned Dog's Beth, the brain, and most of the other boys. "You can't put Hiccup in charge, sir. He's useless." Hiccup, horrendous Harald III, the hope and heir to the tribe of the hairy hooligans, wiped his nose miserably on his sleeve. He sank a little deeper into the snow. "Anybody will be better than Hiccup." Sneered Snot Face Snot Loud. "Even Fish Legs will be better than Hiccup." Fish Legs had a squint that made him as blind as a jellyfish, and allergic to reptiles. "Silence!" roared Gobble the Belch. "The next boy to speak has limpets for lunch for the next 3 weeks." There was absolute silence immediately.
Thank you, Ages. Now, our final reader of today, I would like to welcome Olivia to the stage, please.
I'm reading The Monkey's Paw. "Wish!" she cried in a strong voice. "It is foolish and wicked," he said weakly. "Wish!" repeated his wife. He raised his hand. "I wish my son alive again." The talisman fell to the floor, and he looked at it fearfully. Then he sank into a chair, and the old woman, with burning eyes, walked to the window and opened the curtains. The darkness was depressing, and after lying for some time building up his courage, the husband took the box of matches and, lighting one, went downstairs for another candle. At the foot of the stairs, the match went out, and he stopped to light another. And at the same moment, a knock sounded on the front door. The matches fell from his hand. He stood motionless, not even breathing, until the knock was repeated. Then he turned and ran quickly back to his room and closed the door behind him. A third knock sounded through the house. "What's that?" cried the old woman, sitting up quickly. "A rat," said the old man shakily. "A rat! It passed me on the stairs." His wife sat up in the bed listening. A loud knock echoed through the house. "It's Herbert!" she screamed. "It's Herbert!" She ran to the door, but her husband held her tightly. "What are you going to do?" he asked in a low, scared voice. "It's my boy! It's Herbert!" she cried, struggling automatically. "I forgot it was 2 miles away. What are you holding me for? Let me go! I'm coming, Herbert!"
Thank you very much to all of our readers here. We're now going to have a short break whilst the judges deliberate and they decide on our final winner and our runners-up. In this time, we're going to invite Yunha to the stage to perform a piece on the violin. welcome Chuyi to the stage, performing on the harp. Okay, I'd now like to welcome Yunha and Chuyi back to the stage, who are performing a duet. Thank you very much, girls, for that lovely performance. Okay, we are just waiting for the final scores to be in before we reveal who is the champion of our 2024 Prose Reading Competition.
Thank you, judges. I would now like to invite Tunku Dara to the stage to present our prizes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up for Lower Key Stage 2 is Zayna.
Well done, congratulations, Zayna. And now for our runner-up from Upper Key Stage 2. The runner-up is Charlie.
Thank you. And our winner of the Primary Prose Reading Competition 2024 is Aqeel.
Well done to all of our readers. You're all absolutely fantastic and you should be really proud of yourself. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank our judges for presiding over the competition today, Hamish Farquharson and Nadia and I'd like to invite you both onto the stage to receive a token of thanks.
Thank you. We would also like to warmly thank Tunku Dara for her role as head judge and guest of honour. It is always such a great pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you once again, Tunku Dara, and may I invite you to say a few words.
Dr. Glenn Moody, Mr. Chris Davis, teachers, parents, and children, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me this afternoon to preside at this prose reading competition. I really enjoyed myself. It was so wonderful to watch the children on stage and also to listen to all their prose reading. They did a wonderful, wonderful job. There was proficiency, there was dedication in everything they did. It's difficult for a child to come on stage to speak to such a large audience. And I think it's very, very wonderful to see that they could do it with enthusiasm, with expression, and with confidence. And I think that they really did a very, very good job. All the effort they put into their prose reading was interesting and articulate. Anyway, I hope that they will continue to be interested in speaking in public and how it can influence people if they do it in the proper way. I also like to congratulate the winners here today for having done an excellent speeches and also for their dedication and perseverance. However, I feel that they were all winners. All those that came on stage did such a fantastic job. They were all winners in their own way and for making their parents proud of them to be able to come on stage. I hope that they will continue to support this sort of event, and to all those who are here today, thank you for supporting it. It was really a delightful afternoon. I enjoyed myself very much. And congratulations again to all of you who managed to come on stage and speak. Well done.
you once again to everyone here today who's come to support our Prose readers. I know your support is invaluable to them and they all seem to have had a fantastic time, which is brilliant. So thank you once again. And well done to our winners. As Tunku Dara has just said, you all performed fantastically and I'm sure it was very tricky to choose a winner amongst you all, so well done.